Hello, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning to all the participants. I hope I'm audible. Am I audible? Can you all hear me?
Yes, we are hearing your sound.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. So I'm going to start. Is the screen visible as well?
Yes, visible.
Yes. Yeah. So the topic for the day is I'm going to present on the topic the digital pathway to organic sustainability in India. The paper is or rather the topic is co-authored by my guide, that is Dr. Felipe Rodriguez Imalo, and myself, Dr. Apurva Sweetan Bandodkar, and I'm a research scholar as well as assistant professor in the subject of commerce. The core vision involved in the topic is actually the core idea behind the topic is to explain or shed light on the transformative experiment in linking fair governance with sustainability in the digital age that we live in today. It also involves institutionalization of the transparency, traceability from the farmers to the end consumers, and the participatory governance, not just governance from the institutionalized parties, but also the participants in the organic sector in India. Pursuing sustainability here is not as a parallel agenda, but as an integral dimension, which is an important part of governance to ensure equity and ecological integrity. For the layered policy framework, we have shed light on three important initiatives by the government in India. Uh, we have the National Program for Organic Production. The NPOP, it is the abbreviation for National Program for Organic Production, is a foundational framework, and it is mainly involved in the setting standards and for governing the exports of organic products in India. So all the exports that are happening from India to the rest of the world concerned with the organic products are governed under this program. Next, we have the Parampragat Krishi Vikas Yojana, which is also known as the PKVR. And in short, this is a cluster approach in the organic sector, organic farming. Cluster approach because basically there are clusters being formed which are responsible for clusters as in groups of people being formed responsible for the certification. So there is no institution or a body involved. It is just those people at the village level or at the the regional level that are involved in the certification. Next, we have the mission organic value chain development for the northeastern region across India. This is a very I would say phenomenal initiative by the government of India to develop certified organic value chain. So we are not just focusing on the grassroot organic production, but also the value chain that we have. Sorry, the chain right from producers to the consumers across the northeastern regions in India. For this, like I said, we have two systems. We have participatory guarantee system and the institutional system. Now, in the PGS, like I mentioned in the previous slide, we have decentralization of certification, and it is helping the farmers as well as the parties to reduce cost. It enables all the small and marginal farmers to self organize under a framework of collective responsibility. Like I said, at the grassroots, at the regional level or at the village level, they're going to come together, set a framework for themselves, and undertake certification at their level. This is an embodiment of fair governance at the grassroots without the interference of any institution. Now, this ensures market access to every small farmer that is in India who is involved in organic production, while also ensuring equity and inclusion through a peer review system. Peer review because, like I said, no institution involved, and you have a group of people, a group of peers who are going to undertake the certification process. Moving on, there are platforms where the farmers as well as the consumers can check the basically traceability, or check the chain, if they want to maybe locate the source or veracity of the farmer. The platforms are TraceNet and Jaivik Kheti. TraceNet refers to a platform which helps in traceability and managing the NPOP. Now, if you recall, NPOP is mainly involved with exports. So it is very essential that this system is integrated into the whole, this platform is integrated into the whole export process. It ensures accountability and global credibility for the exports at the global stage. Next, we have the Jaivik Kheti portal, where TraceNet is helping people for export promotion and traceability. When it comes to export, Jaivik Kheti is meant mainly for the domestic market. It concentrates on e-commerce and generation of information for the users, domestic users. It facilitates digital marketing of organic produce which is certified, uh, therefore or thereby helping generate new associations between the producers and the consumers. Now this, when you look at it from the scope, from the lens of digital inclusion, has a wider scope, because it just not enables the consumers and the producers to partake in the system, but it is also a conduct for digital inclusion by way of certification, monitoring, marketing, and thereby ensuring transparency for all stakeholders. So we have the key takeaways from this study. So we have India's policies, which are setting examples on how environmental ethics, digital innovation, and market regulation can come together to contribute towards building a sustainable food economy. And as a working model for developing economies, India sets example on how sustainability can be pursued as an integral dimension of governance and not as an outcome. Therefore, the organic ecosystem stands as both a policy instrument and as a moral narrative of a responsible transformation. Yeah, that's it for my presentation from my side. I would like to thank the organizers for providing me with the opportunity, uh, for uh, providing me with the opportunity to contribute my insights from the study here, as well as allowing me to chair the session for the day. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. We are also very happy for listening this very interesting presentation. And now we are going to continue with Vesna and their team presentation. I will share their video. Yes. And how are you, Vesna? I think you are here.
Yes, yes. Good morning. Thank you so much for this introduction. I'm excellent, and we are happy to see our presentation and enjoy all together. Of course, we remain open for any questions or suggestions in the end.
Okay, now I am going to share the video.
Dear pioneers of tomorrow, bold innovators, and seekers of truth. Dear delegates, esteemed colleagues, and honored guests from every realm of thought and action. We gather here today bound by curiosity, fueled by courage, and united in the quest to shape a wiser, brighter future. It is both a privilege and a profound responsibility to speak to you here in Turkey, a land that has stood for millennia at the crossroads of continents where civilizations meet, ideas converge, and dialogue breathes life into healthy flourishing. My deepest gratitude to Tekirdağ Economic Kemal University, their dedicated organizing committee, the remarkable Professor Seda Hilmay Bostanki, our international research team, and to each of you for coming together at a moment when wisdom is no luxury, but an urgent necessity. We stand at a hinge in history, a place where humanity, technology, and our planet entwine in remarkable complexity. Systems of governance, crafted for another era, strain under the weight of a rapid change, both global and local. Yet from this paradox, a new horizon emerges. Society seeks a vision of governance not rooted in dominance, but in care, in the quiet strength of shared purpose and inclusivity, where intelligence flows freely, where power finds purpose in service and strength in modesty, where institutions evolve to include, adapt, and sustain. The challenge we face is both unmistakable and pressing. So the question arises, will we shape the future or be shaped by it? With hearts open and minds sharp, let us begin. This vision is not mine alone. It is a constellation, a global alliance of scholars from Serbia, India, Greece, Morocco, China, Algeria, Pakistan, and beyond. All countries that share vital cultural, scientific, diplomatic, or strategic ties with Turkey. It is notably meaningful to present this vision here in Turkey, a country with which Serbia shares a thriving relationship built on growing synergy in science, education, culture, diplomacy, and strategic development. Our two countries are not only enhancing bilateral ties, we are nurturing a spirit of mutual respect and shared purpose that resonates deeply with this aspiration of just and wise governance. Together, we call this journey Just Governance for Society 6, a bold rethinking of leadership, institutions, and economies through the lens of human-centric wisdom. We stand at the crossroads where humanity, technology, and the planet converge, yet still weaken. Governance, once a steady framework, now collapses under corruption, fragmentation, and broken trust. Inequality grows, food insecurity and declining agriculture threaten the foundation of economies and cultures alike. Among the world's many crises, food security, food sovereignty, and agriculture are most vital. They are the roots of stability and identity. Meanwhile, climate inaction deepens and technology outruns ethics and regulation. Governance remains rigid, siloed, and reactive, unfit for a complex, interconnected world. So we ask, what if governance were not a machine, but a living ecosystem? What if power transformed from control into service? And what if progress was no longer measured by growth alone, but by the resilience of people, planet, and culture? A new dawn is rising. Society 6, where intelligence is collective, power is service, and governance becomes care. Built upon the foundations of healthy development, inspired by human centricity, and sustained by inclusiveness, this is the future we must now dare to create. This time, ultimately, wisely. From the spark of inquiry, Society 6 was born, a lively, vibrant tango where humanity, technology, and the planet move together in perfect harmony towards the heartbeat of evolution. Grounded in the 5 Ps, or people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership, and aligned with the humanity's sustainable development goals, this vision is a powerful blueprint for crafting a better, more inclusive, and thriving future for all. The research methodology draws on the framework of Beckett and Harris change model, while an integrated PRISMA and 5-stage approach provides a robust foundation that turns curiosity into clarity and clarity into meaningful transformation. We are witnessing the birth of a new governance paradigm, one that replaces rigid bureaucracy with collective harmony, a system that is adaptive, inclusive, safe, and deeply human-centric. This is just governance for Society 6. As its foundation, this model integrates 6 intelligences, namely human intelligence, smart machine intelligence, ecological intelligence, cultural intelligence, ethical or spiritual, and collective intelligence in a seamless, continuous data to wisdom cycle, enabling smarter, faster, and wiser decision-making across every level of society. We moved from centralized or actual to decentralized hybrid model, unlocking a governance that is participatory, flexible, and responsive. One that embraces economic diversity and ensures sustainable resource use. Integrity is a must, not a maybe, with built-in anti-corruption mechanisms, cutting-edge transparency, data privacy, and systemic resilience. This model defends against the erosion of public trust. Safety is an integral part of this governance model, not only in physical terms, but also across digital, social, environmental, and economic dimensions. Governance protects people not just from threats, but from neglect, exclusion, and systemic failure. People are not passive recipients, they are active co-creators. Through citizen assemblies and digital councils, every voice gains a platform. Every perspective matters. Our economic model is a hybrid, balancing public, private, cooperative, and common sector sectors to create an economy that serves all, not just a few. We boldly confront power concentration, inequality, and ecological overshoot, recognizing that no just future can be built on a foundation of imbalance. We have redefined growth, no longer limited to GDP alone, but expanding it to include well-being, cultural vitality, and ecology, among others. Our foundation is built on the 5 Ps and reinforced by justice, equity, stewardship, participation, and legitimacy. These are not abstract ideals, they are operating principles. They make our governance stronger, safer, and more deeply trusted. This is not just a new system for us. It's a new social contract, one where governance protects, includes, listens, and evolves. The depth or path ahead is bold, but it is clear. Let us walk it together toward a more just, safe, and resilient society. At the heart of this model is a quite ethical shift, turning towards something more deeper. Governance begins to move from management toward mindfulness. Systems rooted in moral intelligence are better prepared to navigate the storms of climate uncertainty, geopolitical change, and the rising influence of unethical technologies. Such systems help ensure not just resilience, but renewal, nurturing economic stability through a regenerative agriculture, honoring cultural heritage, and protecting the dignity of all communities. The aim is to cultivate an integrated and balanced approach throughout the governance life cycle, creating a dynamic equilibrium among all 5 elements of the 5 Ps, namely people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. At its core, this model remains deeply focused on meeting real human needs. Defense, for example, can become the protection of life rather than projection of force. Finance, for example, can grow into regenerative stewardship rather than extractation. Diplomacy, on the other hand, may become a space for authentic dialogue and not dominance. And politics opens to new purpose, a field for moral imagination and not merely competition. In this chapter, the true strength of a country is not found in the size of its arsenal, of the scale of its economy, but in the wisdom with which it leads. Not in how quickly it grows, but in how kindly and fairly it shares. Not in what it possesses, but in how thoughtfully it cares for what it holds. Not in the volume of its voice, but in the depth of its listening. This is not a break from our systems, but a quiet renewal from within. We are not carried by history, we are its co-authors. Just Governance for Society 6 calls us to awaken with wisdom within our systems, to rethink power as responsibility, and to lead with depth and not domination. Let us be the lighthouses guiding through uncertainty, the architects of systems rooted in care and not compulsion. Let us build a future glowing with a steady flame of conscience, a future where humanity and wisdom walk hand in hand. Step into this tide with us. For every wave is a chance to co-create, and every current carries the promise of a flourishing tomorrow. The future won't write itself. Now is the moment to lead with courage. Let's rise and make the future real. Thank you.
So thank you, dear Vesna. We make so many conversation together about this area. I think our aim is finding the fair governance in the digital era, and this model is very inspiring for us. After listening the second presentation, maybe in the second one we can talk about a little bit. But now we are going to continue with Associate Professor Dr. Dimitrina Stefana, Viktoria Vasileva, Kristiana Bakeva, and their presentation is about sustainability, cooperative digital responsibility, and information security intersection in the organizational environment. So the term is yours, Kristiana. How are you, Kristiana? Are you there?
Hello, I'm great, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great pleasure to greet all the participants and express my sincere appreciation to the organization of the Third International Symposium of the Political Science and Public Administration. Thank you for accepting our participation for the creating value in this disciplinarity platform dedicated to exploring just governments in the digital era. We are honored to contribute this dialogical with paper titled Sustainability, Corporate Digital Responsibility, and Information Insecurity in the intersection in the organization environment. We hope that our research will add the understanding of how ethical digital governance, sustainability, and information security can jointly support resilient and trustworthy institutions in the digital age. My sincere grace goes to the Professor Seda Bustangi for kind invitation and outstanding efforts in the organization such a meaningful and processional symposium. In the knowledge of the economy, information has evolved into a greatest value and a primary productive force that generates wealth. At the same time, it's a primary productive force. It contains the product and the principal source of review and profit for modern organization. In this context, digital transformation adds new dimensions of value, direction, and measurements to corporate responsibility, introducing novel managerial, legal, and social challenges. The utilization of technologies, data, and artificial intelligence bring considerable benefits, yet simultaneously rising questions regarding transparency and control over information. Despite the existence of the regularity frameworks such as GDPR and Digital Services Act and in the EU AI Act, the need of the ethnical and strategic approach to digitalization remain essential. The paper exams international between corporate digital responsibility, information security, and sustainable development within framework of European and global ethnical standards. The analysis emphasizes that digital responsibility represents unnatural externalities of corporate social responsibility and constitute a new dimension of sustainability in the digital era. The objective is to identify common theoretical domains among specific disciplines and to facilitate their synchronization within participant applications. Over the past decades, the conceptual significance and strategic dimensions of the sustainability has been established as a leading paragraph in the global, European, and corporate development stages. Sustainability represents not only an environment but also just a second. But also socio-economic principle and the guides political decision-making, corporate governance, and digital transformation. The concept emphasizes the balance between economic growth, environment protection, and social equality, three dimensions that today are regarded as mutually dependent and visible. Sustainability view as balance among economical, social, and environmental dimensions has evolved and encompassed four dimensions. The digital one, corporate digital responsibility, represents a digital extension of sustainability, introducing new criteria for responsible behavior, such as algorithmic transparency, data protection, and the sustainable management of infrastructures. According to WhatsApp, CDR contains an extension of corporate social responsibility that focuses on managing digitalization, its ethical, technological, and social implications. The European Commission likewise considered GDR and illegal part of ECG management, encompassing strategy in algorithm, ethical use of artificial intelligence, data protection, and sustainable digital governance. In this context, the concept of the corporate defined as a system shared values, principles, and practices that guide our organization in the use of data and data technologies in the socially, economically, and environmentally responsible manner. Corporate digital responsibility images a voluntary organization commitment in the ethical use of data technology and artificial intelligence. It establishes the value of framework of the digital activities, honesty, transparently, inclusively, and accountability. Requires organizations cultivate digital ethic, including process of fairness and use of artificial intelligence, equipment, access of technology, and protecting the individual autonomy. In those service of both ethical and medical compass digitalization.
You have 3 minutes, dear Kristiana. In 3 minutes, you can make the conclusions, maybe.
So the author is The author's perspective is that corporate digitalization, responsibility, information security, and sustainability together form the foundation of a new model of corporative responsibility in the digital issue that responsibility digital society, one that combines technology innovation with public trust and long-term services. In the integrated framework, sustainability is understood as strategic horizon that long-term direction guiding responsibility growth and value creation. Corporate digital responsibility acts as a shared ethical framework, embedded fairness of the use of artificial intelligence, ensuring equitable access to technology and safeguard personal autonomy. Meanwhile, information security functions as protective mechanism of the corporate digital responsibility, providing the structure and operational assurance that supports ethical and sustainable digital practice. Together, these three domains establish the foundation for a new corporate governance vision at ethics and of the digital era, in which technology innovation is inseparable from the public accountability, transparency, and trust. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Kristiana Bakiyeva. It's very inspiring presentations. One of is from Serbia and the other one is from Bulgaria. And all of them are very interesting in this area because we always, when the new technologies started, the the fairness and the governance systems are changed. So this kind of motivational, innovational, and also the inspiring and sensational some of the sensational motivations are important in this area. Now, after the 10 minutes later, I have shared the link from this discussion, and also we are starting with Mirteti's presentation in the first one. Then we are listening the Vesna keynote speech presentation, and after that we are going to the 5 session, and in the 5 session we have Tarvinder Kaur, Mustafa Demirkol, Murat Süleymanov. They are going to make their presentations, but usually the last presentation go to the other side. Now we are closing this session, and thank you all of your cooperations. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.